So we're going to check out this video. It's going to explain the beef a bit more. Maybe we did only see one side, and maybe it was biased towards Russell Westbrook. But I want to make this clear. I stand on what I said in that video. If you saw it, this ain't no apology vid for KD fans or nothing like that. If this video clears up his side, then I accept it is what it is, and I will accept that maybe we should have watched both sides before making a judgment. But if this, supports Russell Westbrook's side clearly and makes me feel the same type of way about KD's decision and what he done, then I'll stand on business and I'll say it with chest. So we're gonna find out at the end of this video, man. Yeah, that's it.
Hey, let's get into it.
Let's get into it, boys.
And girls.
Best players of this millennium. Together, they were supposed to become a dynasty and win multiple championships. But after several playoff disappointments, they were headed for an ugly divorce. What came next was a series of provocations, subtle insults, and awkwardness.
Here we go.
This is the story of the love-hate relationship between Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook, and how they went from supporting teammates to an ugly beef.
It's mad to see them like that.
From 2007 to 2009, the Oklahoma City Thunder selected 3 of the 10 best players of this generation in consecutive drafts. After they drafted Kevin Durant and relocated to Oklahoma in 2008, they also added Russell Westbrook, James Harden, and Serge Ibaka. The work they did in those 3 seasons was equivalent to winning the Mega Millions lottery 3 times in a row. But there were some serious growing pains from the start. Durant and Westbrook were both 20 years old when they played together for the first time, and it was obvious that finding the balance between the two would take some adjustment. A setup role didn't come naturally to the fiery, dynamic Westbrook, who had never been a full-time point guard. Russ led the league in total turnovers as a rookie, as Oklahoma City won just 23 games. However, with James Harden and Serge Ibaka on board, the Thunder became a dominant team, winning 50 and 55 games the following 2 seasons. And yet, months before their run to the 2012 NBA Finals, the first signs of trouble arose. Things got heated during a December game against the Grizzlies, when Durant tried to calm the angry Westbrook during a timeout, after Russ ripped into teammate Thabo Sefolosha for hesitating on an open 3. Durant and Westbrook began to argue, and ended with Russ swatting away KD's hand. It wasn't a good look, especially because Westbrook finished the game 0 for 13, while Durant scored 32 points and bailed the Thunder out, winning 98-95. After the game, KD told people close to him that he wanted a meeting with general manager Sam Presti to discuss his growing doubts about Westbrook. But that meeting never happened, and Durant decided to keep building on the promise that they were going to win a title together.
So that's kind of wild that he tried to call a meeting that soon over one little hiccup. Like, it's sport. In my opinion, there's going to be disagreements. It's about keeping it professional after as well. I get KD might have felt a type of way about it, but to call in a meeting specifically on Westbrook, I think that's a bit much for a one-off. It sounds like a one-off circumstance.
The thing is, I mean, I don't know, this is the first time we're watching this. There must have been other situations, not just that one.
If that's the case, and it was like ongoing for a while and many, many things, then okay, fair enough. But if it's literally just that,
a cupcake. That summarizes everything.
If it's just that, then that's very soft, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Well, we don't know the full story behind closed doors.
Disagree sometimes, like I've always been saying, but I'm behind him 110%, and he's the same way with me. And for the remainder of the 2012 season, it was mostly smooth sailing. OKC had the 2nd best record in the West, with the 2nd best offensive rating in the league, as nobody could stop the 3-headed monster of Durant, Westbrook, and Harden. The Thunder were dominant in the playoffs, sweeping Dirk and the Mavs, getting past Kobe and the Lakers in 5, and then defeating Duncan and the Spurs in 6 games to reach the NBA Finals against Miami. However, despite KD playing a monster series, averaging 30 points on 55% shooting, and Russ not too far behind with 27, 6, and 6, James Harden disappointed. The Beard averaged just 12 points in the series, scoring under 10 points in 3 of the 5 games. But even though he had a bad series, Harden was a big reason why the Thunder got to the finals in the first place.
He's good. I like the Beard.
So what happened next was one of the biggest mistakes in recent NBA history. Just days before the start of the 2013 season, the Thunder traded Harden.
They didn't want to give Harden the max. Their position was everyone who's re-signed here has sacrificed a little something, even Durant, even Russell Westbrook, so they were looking for Harden to be willing to take a little less than the max.
Even though he still had 1 year left on his rookie contract, OKC was afraid to go into luxury tax. And instead of giving Harden a full $60 million max contract, they only offered him $56 million, which James took as an insult. So for about $4 million, the Thunder lost a future Hall of Famer, and they got 10 cents on the dollar in return.
But now look at Harden. So, like, if they had Harden at his peak with that KD and Russell Westbrook team together, they would be destroying everybody.
But that's if, for example, KD was still in the team.
KD was still in the team. Harden didn't get sold, and he reaches potential with that. Like, it's too many factors. Like, it's too many factors. It's too,
Though they made a colossal mistake, they were still good because they still had Russ and KD. In 2013, the Thunder won 60 games. They had the best offensive rating in the league, but after a collision with Patrick Beverley in the first round of the playoffs, Russell Westbrook tore his meniscus and was out for the season. OKC still managed to win the first round against Harden and the Rockets, but they quickly got ousted from the playoffs in the next round against Memphis.
With the season on the line and the Thunder on the brink of extinction, Kevin Durant looked like he had the weight of the world on his shoulders. And while we're used to the guy making Superman-like plays, he has clearly found his kryptonite in the Memphis Grizzlies. KD hit only 5 of 21 shots for 21 points.
And we fought every single game. Every one of these games came down to the last few minutes. And it was unfortunate that we didn't come out on the winning side.
With Westbrook undergoing 3 knee surgeries and missing half of the 2014 season, the Thunder needed KD to play perfectly just to make the playoffs. And Durant did exactly that, entering God mode, averaging 35 points, 7.5 rebounds, and 6.3 assists without Westbrook in the lineup. After the All-Star break,
see, we don't hate. We give credit where it's due. Credit to KD there. Well played. I give credit where it's due, and I think that's you can say the same.
I appreciate him as a very good player.
But we're going to get into the deep side of the story soon, so we'll get into that.
Russ returned.
The injury report for the Thunder, none. In the starting lineup, Russell Westbrook. His first game since Christmas Day, following the 3rd knee surgery within a year.
But the Thunder were smoked by the Miami Heat on national television in his first game back. After they lost 2 more games, with Durant and Westbrook both playing heavy doses of iso ball, KD started worrying that the readjustment to Westbrook would hurt his chances of winning the MVP. Then, Brian Keefe, a Thunder assistant at the time, delivered a blunt message: get over yourself. He let me know how bad I was, my body language, my attitude. I just decided to look at myself and self-evaluate. And he was right. I had to change how I was thinking, how I was acting towards my teammates, everything. And after that meeting, the Thunder started winning games, finishing the season with 59 wins. And with 32 points per game, KD finally won the MVP award.
Well played. Good stuff.
He deserves it.
He deserves it.
In one of the most famous MVP speeches ever, Kevin was extremely emotional, especially when thanking his mother.
You went to sleep hungry? You sacrificed for us? You the real MVP.
Oh, very cute.
However, when it came to his teammates, he thanked Russell last. But it was clear how much he cared for his point guard, despite all their differences.
I know you guys think I forgot Russ.
You did, bro. Joking.
It's days where I want to just tackle you and tell you to snap out of it sometimes, but I know it's days you want to do the same thing with me. I love you, man. I love you.
But in the 2015 season, the roles were reversed. It was Durant who missed the majority of the season due to a Jones fracture in his foot.
The NBA's MVP has a foot fracture. He'll need surgery, likely out 6 to 8 weeks.
And in his absence, Westbrook was fully unleashed, averaging a league-leading 28 points per game. However, without KD, the Thunder missed the playoffs by 1 game. And despite their superstars thriving on their own, it was clear that the Thunder needed them both to be successful. In 2016, it was year 8 of Durant and Westbrook's partnership, and it seemed like this was finally going to be their year. Under the new coach, Billy Donovan, who replaced the incompetent Scott Brooks, OKC finally started playing better basketball, utilizing the 1-3 pick and roll between Russ and KD.
Good teamwork.
With the emergence of Stash Bros, Steven Adams, and Enes Kanter, plus the development of Serge Ibaka and Andre Roberson, OKC finished the regular season with 55 wins and the second-best offense in the league. The relationship between Russ and KD seemed to be at an all-time high. And when KD was inducted into the Oklahoma Hall of Fame, he chose Westbrook to introduce him. A year earlier, at the 2014...
Sorry, I want to say hello to Thomas. and Sora?
Yeah.
First time chatters, welcome to the chat.
Welcome. Hope you enjoyed the
appreciate
stream.
Support.
ESPYs, Durant called Westbrook his favorite teammate. And when Mark Cuban called Russ an unwarranted superstar, KD replied,
"He's an idiot. Don't listen to this. He's an idiot." That's what we got to say about that. He's an idiot.
But still, it
You see,
wasn't.
Russ?
That's what we got to
Look
say.
at Westbrook's eyes.
He's an idiot.
He's like, bruh.
I just like, you know what it is? You know, when it comes to, because these are top athletes.
Yeah, top athletes.
Their testosterone, however you say, you know what I'm trying to say, is sky high. And they're in their brains, they're trying to win this game. So I feel like, you know, sometimes you clash with people.
Yeah.
I feel like these two clashed.
They clash a lot because they're both, in their heads, they're both in the number one spot. So in Russell Westbrook's head, he's number one, I'm sure. In KD's head, I assume he thinks he's number one.
Yeah.
And for those reasons, there's going to be clash because Russell Westbrook's going to think what his thoughts are for the team and his decisions are best made.
Yeah.
And KD will think his decisions are best made.
Yeah.
So there's going to be clash. Like,
And when KD tells Russell to calm down, 100% Russell doesn't like that. Like, bro, why are you telling him to calm down for?
it's tough. It's egos. That's it.
Yeah, I
It's
feel like they
egos.
clashed a lot. That's what I think.
That's the problem.
But still, it wasn't like the two superstars stopped fighting. After they defeated the Mavericks in the second round against San Antonio, Russ and KD entered a yelling match on the sideline after a missed defensive assignment.
There you
However,
go.
they quickly patched things up, and after 6 games, they defeated the Spurs and went to the conference finals, where they matched up against the best regular season team of all time.
Oh,
Against the
Golden State.
73-9 Warriors, it seemed like Russ and KD finally found their mojo, as they took a commanding 3-1 lead in the series.
I did not expect Russell Westbrook to be this dominant, and he is. He reminds me of what Kobe Bryant once said about him when he said he's the only dude in the league with my DNA.
The Warriors won Game 5 at
Damn.
home, despite a combined 71 points from KD and Russ. But in Game 6, it looked like OKC was heading towards another finals appearance when they took an 8-point lead in the fourth quarter. But then they fell apart. Even though this game will forever be remembered for Klay Thompson's hot shooting, who hit 11 threes, it was the Thunder's mistakes that cost them the game. OKC turned the ball over 6 times in the last 8 possessions, 4 times by Russ,
Westbrook stumbling, lost it.
and twice by KD.
It's the pressure.
Too much pressure, man.
There was still Game 7, but after a disastrous third quarter where they got outscored 29-12, it was all over. And OKC became just the 10th team in NBA history to blow a 3-1 lead in the playoffs. OKC fell apart in the clutch.
When you really break it down, I don't think they choked. I think OKC wasn't as good as Golden State.
They choked. Let's be real. You got a 3-1 lead, man. They choked. And they got a strong enough team to win. That's the mad bit.
Yeah.
And it ends
It
there.
wasn't a fluke.
No lead is safe with this team. So, when you have them down, Mr. Barker says you got to put your foot in your throat and take them out. OKC had that opportunity. They had them up 3-1, and they couldn't take care of business.
And with their downfall, the relationship between their two superstars fell apart too.
That's it, went
Durant
hell.
found it increasingly difficult to tolerate Westbrook's hero ball, and the fact that his great capabilities were often overshadowed by stubbornness, turnovers, and forcing tough shots against double teams. But it wasn't like it was all Westbrook's fault. One of the common misconceptions in basketball is that certain players cannot play together because there's only one ball. And while it's true that Durant, Westbrook, and Harden are all players who need the ball in their hands, the problem was that Oklahoma never had a proper offensive system. In fact, it didn't have anything resembling a system. They had a few well-coordinated plays that they rotated from year to year, and that was pretty much it.
This is where the Warriors shine.
Yeah.
And this is why the Warriors are outstanding, because they have such good team chemistry. You've got top players in there, but they balance each other out so well.
Yeah, with that team, it seems like Westbrook and KD were just 2 superstars.
Yeah.
And they had to do all the carrying rather than, like you said, with Golden State, I feel like even when they got injuries and stuff, they just work.
Yeah.
They can make it happen.
Because there was a period where KD was injured, so was Curry and Klay Thompson. They were all three injured. They still won.
Yeah.
Like
Somehow they pulled it out the bag.
it just shows that the team overall is very good, and I think that the highest paid team, right?
They are the highest paid team from what I don't know if it's now, but when we watched the video about the pay, they were the highest paid team then.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming still. But yeah, you're right, man. Spot on.
The offense mostly came down to changing the focal point. One possession focused on Russ, one on Durant, and the third on Harden when he was there.
Trusting in it. Keep trusting it. Yeah. Like, you got to be aggressive early, all right? Early. So if you get the rebound, be aggressive. Your threes, you're going to hit your threes, but if you got layup opportunities, drive.
Towards the end of their run, when Scott Brooks was replaced by Billy Donovan, they developed the 1-3 pick and roll between Russ and KD. But if the action didn't go right at the start, they would quickly revert to ISO ball. And between 2014 and 2016, OKC was last in the league
oh my
in
God,
made
that's
passes.
bad.
Oklahoma drafted the best players, but it did not fit them together well. The Thunder never found something like the triangle that helped Michael Jordan transform from his individual dominance into a winner. Nor did they develop the positionless motion offense that Eric Spoelstra used to enable LeBron, Dwayne Wade, and Chris Bosh to win titles. A quality system will force great players to sacrifice both their egos and individual statistics, and it will reward that sacrifice with success. Oklahoma never did that. It cannot be said that the Thunder were not an efficient team, but their efficiency laid in the fact that no team could stop their superstars one-on-one, and their ability to draw fouls. Lots and lots of fouls.
Somehow Durant lets it go. Non-stop.
From 2010 to 2016, Oklahoma finished in the top 3 in free throws made 4 times, and in the top 10 in all 7 seasons. OKC could dominate against teams over which it had an advantage in individual talent, which was the majority of teams in the league from 2010 to 2016. But when they ran into a team that could match their talent, there were problems. And while it's true that Westbrook was sometimes like a cow that gives 100 liters of milk and then suddenly goes wild, kicks the bucket, and spills it all, with unreasonable three-pointers early in the shot clock, forced isolations, and plenty of turnovers. But Russ also drew a ton of fouls, played a great pick and roll with Kevin Durant, found open teammates after drives, played decent on-ball defense, and took over games at key moments. Westbrook brought a much-needed dose of madness to OKC's stagnant offense. Since he himself didn't know what he was going to do next, neither did the defenses. So the Thunder could count on their best options not always being shut down. Even though KD was always the best player, Russ was the player who gave OKC the best chance to win a title. But after that,
I feel like Russ was very good. Like, he kind of mastered being unpredictable. Because and that's probably why there was a lot of like failure in the stats at the same time, because it seems like he was doing some unpredictable shit that not a lot of people do. But when it works, it really works and it pays off. But then there's a lot of failure behind that as well. But you need to play unpredictable to create opportunity. Otherwise, if you're playing the same basketball and stuff, these are pros, they're going to lock you down, you know?
Yeah, when you're unpredictable, people don't know what to expect from you.
And that's when he said about Russ gave them the best chance to win because of like how unpredictable his plays were.
Wait, before we get into it, J-Rod, welcome to the chat. First time chat. Everyone,
Kirby, guys.
The chat for J-Rod, all right?
Let's do it.
The title never came because when Durant became a free agent in 2016, it was logical for him to move elsewhere. The biggest problem was that he moved to the worst possible team, the one that just defeated them in the playoffs and had the best regular season in NBA history, the Golden State Warriors. Just 1 week before he posted the infamous My Next Chapter letter on Players Tribune, Durant was sitting in a restaurant with Westbrook and Nick Collison, who both fully expected him to re-sign with the Thunder.
Great organization, great people around us, great town.
We've seen it be built from the beginning.
Thunder logo, just to me, just a sense of pride that you have when you put the jersey on.
But then KD stopped communicating with his teammates, and he only sent a short text message to Russ mere minutes before the world found out about his decision. And that's when it all turned sour.
The news again coming in moments ago, Kevin Durant heading to the Golden State Warriors. How are you viewing this move from Durant?
Well, I'm viewing it as the weakest move I've ever seen from a superstar.
How did you feel?
I don't normally like this guy, but he took the words out of my mouth. To me, when I first heard about it, it is the weakest move from someone that level. Now, in my opinion, everyone has an opinion, yeah? Look, there was a lot of KD fans on YouTube saying, oh, like, why does he need to tell anyone and he can go where he wants? It's true. Like, he can go where he wants and he don't need to address where he's going. But there's a thing called, let's call it like dignity in a man. There's certain things, it's like unwritten rules. There's certain things you do and you don't do, and it's unwritten. You don't need to have someone tell you it to know not to do it. It's kind of like in football sense. If Ronaldo, when he was playing for Real Madrid, joined Barcelona to play with Messi because Barcelona just kept beating them, the world would go crazy. Like, it wouldn't happen. Like, it's an unwritten rule for Ronaldo to never do that, and he never did. And his legacy will remain, etc. KD could have joined any team. It didn't have to be the Golden State. He could have, if he left to join, I don't know, another team, he wouldn't have got the same stick. It's just because he left to join the team that just took away your championship dream. You was 3-1 ahead of them. They took it away from you. And then rather than saying, you know what, I want to go again, or you know what, I'm going to join another team to compete against them, you joined, in a sense, the enemy. And I think that unwritten rule was broken. And like, he said it. I'm not the one, I'm adding to it, but he said it himself, this guy here on the screen. It's like the unwritten rule you don't do.
You know what? Now that I've seen this side of the video, I've got a different perspective to you.
Look, let him go, yeah.
I feel like, obviously, watching the story now, and I stick to by what I said, I feel like there were two top athletes, and I feel like they clashed heavily.
They did.
If we look at Golden State, you've got top athletes in there, but they work very well together. That's my opinion. Correct me if I'm wrong.
No, you're right. I think
but
you're right.
in here, as we've seen, like, they clash a lot. They can't work as a team. And even if they try, if it goes downhill, then they go back to working individually. I feel like in that team is every man for themselves, if that makes sense. So from KD's perspective, I get it. Because maybe looking at Golden State, he's thinking, rah, I want to be in a team like that where we all connect, we all, like, you know, work together, not just everything's on my back. Do you get what I'm trying to say? But
I agree.
For him to go to Golden State,
he didn't have to choose Golden State.
Now I've seen this.
He didn't have to choose Golden State. I agree with you. I'm not saying he has to stay with Thunder forever. I'm not saying that. He didn't have to stay there for life.
But he shouldn't have gone to Golden State.
But of all teams in the world,
Yeah.
there's like, how many teams in the league, guys? Chat, how much is it? Like in the 20s? It don't have to be Golden State.
Yeah.
Could have been any 30 teams. You're telling me of all teams you had to choose Golden State. The team that's already, I don't know, that's the team that took away your team's dreams like that. I don't know, man. I think it's funky, man.
Yeah.
A couple of hours after Durant's decision was announced on July 4th, Russ posted a photo of some cupcakes with the caption, "Happy 4th, y'all." The photo was a clear message for Durant. When Kendrick Perkins played for the Thunder, he called teammates cupcake if he thought they were acting a little soft. So this was Russ taking a jab at KD, but it wouldn't be the
Called
only
him a cupcake.
I could have handled it to any other team but the Warriors. And Kevin.
She took the words out of my mouth. Look, guys, she literally said it as I said it. I must be on some truth here. Like, KD fans, don't feel pressed of what I'm saying because these are saying it.
Yeah.
And do you know what I mean?
I get it because obviously you're paying, who was it? Funders.
Yeah. Okay,
You're paying for funders. The funders are loving you and you just leave them for.
And you want MVP of them.
At the same time, I get both perspectives. Let's just say that.
Durant, he's staying silent tonight on Twitter after the big announcement.
A month after Durant left for the Warriors, Westbrook signed his extension with the Thunder.
Nice.
He then also released a commercial for the Jordan brand with the tagline,
"Some run, some make runways."
Which was another clear shot at KD. But Durant didn't just stand pat and say nothing. In an interview with Rolling Stone magazine, he downplayed his and Russell's relationship, saying they were only work friends, despite calling him a brother and a family member just a few years back.
So what's your thoughts on that? He's just a colleague. He's a work colleague.
No,
even though they played with each other for 9 years, bro.
Yeah, that's not cool. Especially like the commentator said, he called him. It's kind of like it's giving fake.
Bro,
vibes.
he was crying on stage on live TV, crying, "I love you, man. I love you."
Yeah, I don't know, man. It feels like it's giving fake. Like
that's fake as fuck. And
yeah.
that, guys, what I said in the last video, that's his colors.
Yeah.
As a man, forget him as a player. I rate him as a player. He's fantastic. He's one of the best players in the league.
But morals.
His morals. That's a good word. Morals aren't there. His pride as a man is he's lacking many things as a man. And look, some people might chat shit in the YouTube comments, say, look at you, bro. You're probably missing. Bro, this ain't about me. This is about his decisions that he made. And he's lacking, bro. I'll say, I don't give a fuck if he's a
As
superstar.
well, like if he truly saw Russell as a brother, he should have chatted to him.
But he doesn't.
Bro,
He doesn't.
This is what I'm planning. But my guy messaged him 5 minutes before.
Yeah.
So it is snaky.
He's moving like a snake.
Yeah.
Had our own cliques that we hung with on the road. Russell had his guys, I had mine. It was never a bad thing, just how it was. After their first preseason game, KD talked about his new teammates in Golden State with praise. I wanted to see if what I'd heard and what I'd seen on the outside is really true. Do these guys really genuinely love each other? They work together. You hear family a lot. That's just a word sometimes, but this is really a lifestyle here. You can feel it when you walk in the door, in the practice facility. Everybody is just together. I really feel grateful to play for a team like that and play with a bunch of players who are selfless and
Which is what you said, right?
That's what I said.
Yeah, he wants to join like Golden
Yeah.
State. That's the dream.
I fully get, but obviously, like everybody else is saying.
There's 29 other teams you could join.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be number one. It could be number two. It could be number three.
Prepared for, you know what? I want to be in
With
that
this team, yeah.
which I get, but the way he done it.
The dignity's gone.
Yeah.
Purest form. When Russ was asked about it, he added more fuel to the fire, and the beef was starting to cook really well.
What do you think about him saying that about Golden State?
That's cute, man.
When the NBA season started, OKC played against Golden State in just the 5th game of the year. And before their first matchup as opponents, Westbrook decided to show up to the game with an official photographer outfit. Even though he never admitted it was clearly inspired by Durant, who is an avid photographer and who even got to cover Super Bowl 50 in that role. But when the actual game started, Russ had very few things to be happy about, with the Warriors smashing OKC by 26 points, and Durant outscoring him 39-20. The second time around, when the two teams played each other in January of 2017, it didn't get much better for Westbrook and the Thunder, with KD scoring 40 points to Westbrook's 27, and Golden State winning by 21. At the end of the game, when Thunder's center Enes Kanter approached to talk to his former teammate, Russ was caught on camera cursing him out for saying what's up to Durant. After the game, when asked if he and Durant were on speaking terms, Westbrook answered bluntly.
Nah.
Their third matchup of the 2017 season came on February 11th, and it was the first time KD was back in Oklahoma after signing with the Warriors. Durant was prepared for a hostile environment. There's no way he could have been ready for that much hatred.
What was that sign? How to watch that? Sorry.
Season came on February 11th, and it was the first time KD was back in Oklahoma after signing with the Warriors. Durant was prepared for a hostile environment. There's no
Durant's a bigger sellout than this crowd. Damn. That's bad to say.
way he could have been ready for that much hatred.
For me, maybe.
Forward 6'9" from Texas, number 35.
Cupcake, yeah, they're violent.
Cupcake had now become a very familiar term within the Thunder fans, and along with plenty of signs, derogatory language, and cupcake cardboards, the fans booed KD every time he had the ball. However, when the game started, it was mostly about basketball, until Andre Roberson fouled Durant hard, and the two had a scuffle that was clearly
personal, yeah.
Then, during the third quarter, after a timeout was called, Westbrook had nothing nice to say to KD after they met at midcourt. But even though he may have won the shouting match, he didn't win the game, as Golden State easily defeated the Thunder for the third.
I wish I was there in that game.
Would you wear a cupcake t-shirt?
I would. No, I would actually dress as a cupcake. Have your cupcake. We should get that as a motif.
Yeah, I'm going to try and find that.
Straight time, despite 47 points from Westbrook. The two beefing former teammates didn't have to wait long to see each other again, as they were both selected to represent West at the 2017 All-Star Game in New Orleans. And it was as awkward can be. KD and Russ used to take bus rides together to All-Star games and sit next to each other in the locker room. Now, one of them requested to be seated on the opposite side so they could limit any contact as much as possible. The players who were with them described the feeling in the practice locker room as painfully quiet and uncomfortable. Even for Friday Media Day, Westbrook was late on purpose, just so he didn't have to answer questions next to Durant. Eventually, Westbrook showed up and inevitably had to answer questions about him. But Westbrook's strategy became obvious rather quickly, flipping each question into something about fashion.
Man, you know what?
Fashion Week has been great. You seen Fashion Week?
You don't want to answer no questions
When the game
about KD.
started, instincts took over, and everything was forgotten for a brief moment. As Westbrook came into the game midway through the opening quarter, it took less than a minute before Russ gave KD the look, the one he gave him so many times before. Durant made a cut across the lane, Westbrook fired a pass his way, cut behind it, and Durant lobbed it up for a Westbrook dunk. As the building erupted. For that brief moment, everything returned to normal. Everybody
For a
cheered.
second.
The ice was finally broken, and the awkwardness was gone. But it lasted a total of 82 seconds, which was the time the beefing duo spent on the court together.
There was a nice alley-oop you threw in the late first quarter, and the recipient was wearing 0. What did you think about that play?
It's a great basketball play. He was open, so I threw him the lob.
That's all that happened. He just threw a lob. It's basketball.
Yeah.
That's it.
No high fives, nothing else.
Did you see it?
The fourth time that OKC and
I love him at interviews.
You know what? He's a real one, man.
Yeah.
He's a real one. He's standing on business. Look, KD left, yeah? He left. Russell Westbrook could have very easily said, okay, cool. All the pressure's on me now. I don't want this pressure. I'm going to leave as well. He could have very easily, because his contract ended. He did not do that.
But there are a lot of players that are loyal to their team, though.
Yeah.
Look at Kobe. He was with his team from the get-go.
His whole career was
Yeah.
Lakers. Westbrook, this is the thing. When times got tough, Westbrook didn't sell out.
Yeah.
He stayed. He renewed his contract. That's what they was hoping for KD, and they expected of KD. But KD, I don't like to use the word sell out, but facts are facts. To me, in my eyes, he sold out. He wanted more. He felt like he was too good for the team, and said, I want another team like this Warriors who are more, better together.
Golden State met during the 2017 season, Kevin didn't play due to injury. A few months later, Russ won the MVP after averaging a triple-double for the season.
And the winner
well
of the
deserved
2017 Kia NBA Most Valuable Player Award is Russell Westbrook.
While KD finally got what he always wanted, winning his first championship with the Warriors.
Good for him.
And yet, the beef wasn't over. The world wasn't going to let
TW, welcome to the chat.
this one go.
If you're Russell Westbrook, you have to look in the mirror now more so than ever before, particularly because Kevin Durant is now a champion.
Peyton Manning took the opportunity to stir the pot at the 2017 ESPYs.
Our gymnastics team was so dominant that Kevin Durant told me he wants to play for them next year.
Oh, damn.
When
if looks can kill, boys.
For them next year.
If looks can kill, that look killed. He's pissed.
When the 2018 season started, KD played his second game back in OKC. But this time around, the crowd wasn't as hostile, despite a few cupcake signs. But between him and Russ, there was still tension.
The official's going to have to step in sooner or later.
However, during the rest of the season, the beef seemed mostly dormant. At the 2018 All-Star Game, the energy was vastly different, with KD saying positive things about Westbrook, admitting that he was the one to blame for the situation.
I just got out of my own head and got out of my own way and start, thinking it was even a thing, I feel like I just made it a thing when it shouldn't have been. So it's cool to kind of get past that and just appreciate these guys for who they are and what they do. And it's all love at the end of the day.
Durant was also quick to praise Westbrook when asked about his favorite dunk, even if he didn't mention him by name.
The 6'3" guy I used to play with a couple years ago, he used to his athleticism was off the charts. So I used to see him do normal dunks every day, and now when I see dunks, it's not as good as his. So he's an athletic guy. I think he plays in OKC.
He's showing appreciation. Obviously, he's not name dropping him, but he's given Russ his flowers. He's saying his dunks are better than a lot of the people he's seeing now.
Well, why is he not dropping his name?
Because I think it's just obviously there's still, but he's not doing it in a bad way. It's not like, oh yeah, I'm throwing dirt on him. Like he's this should have happened like years before this. It shouldn't have taken this long for him to come with like positive talk, I guess.
I threw him a lob one game, and he was over top of the backboard, and
he's just putting him respect on him.
Nobody else can compare.
When he appeared on Bill Simmons' podcast in March of 2018, KD spoke about Russ and that whole ignoring situation at the 2017 All-Star break. It was awkward for me because I'm like, first of all, I got pride. We both got pride. So if I walk up to somebody and they just ignore me, I would get really upset. I would get really mad. You know what I'm saying? I don't really get mad a lot, but that pisses me off. So
Pride and stubbornness, I think he's got them mixed up. He's very stubborn. He's not got pride, because if he had pride, he wouldn't have left to Golden State. That's my honest opinion, guys. Some of you might not like that. He's stubborn. He feels a type of way because he don't want to get over the fact that they got this little tension. And I think Russ is stubborn too. They're both very stubborn. But Russ has a reason to be stubborn because he's the one that got the dirt thrown in his face in a way. You know what I mean? That's my opinion.
I didn't want to make it an awkward situation for him. I didn't want to make it an awkward situation for me, so it was weird. I wanted to ask Russell, like, how's your family doing, man? How you feel? Stuff that normal people talk about. But there's so many cameras watching, and
it's messy.
Oh, hey, what'd they talk about? They didn't look at each other. They didn't even say hi. It was just making me so mad. They say time heals all wounds. But even though a lot had passed, the beef between Russ and KD didn't die. And the biggest reason for that was social media. Durant was long known for getting into interactions on Twitter and IG. And in the spring of 2018, he liked a post saying that Russ was the reason he left OKC. Durant later told ESPN that it was a total accident, that he liked the comment regarding Westbrook, which nobody believed was true.
That's BS.
What also didn't help was his brother and close associates also posting negative things about Westbrook, thus keeping the beef alive.
Sorry, I'm gonna get his ass back. Straight up.
In 2019, after it seemed that nobody was talking about it anymore, the always loud and always controversial Stephen A. Smith chimed in, saying that Westbrook never bought into Durant's leadership ability.
And I asked somebody, I said, I don't understand. They said, Stephen A., if you're going to get on KD about anything, you've gotten on him about the wrong thing. They said, when he was in Oklahoma City, he wasn't viewed as the leader. I was like, what were you talking about? I mean, I know it just because you're the best player don't mean you lead. He said he was the best player. They said, but it was hard for Russell Westbrook to follow him because KD, the man that you see right now, was a boy back then. And Russell Westbrook came in a man.
A year later,
big respect to that. And you know what, yeah, I'll say this straight. Not a lot of viewers, I'm not saying everyone, some will, not a lot of viewers will understand that point. I came from a very corporate background. I worked in recruitment, like I worked up the ladder, I got into management myself. I started as a trainee. And the reason why I'm going into this is you have people who do recruitment. Recruit's basically sales, is a sales job, yeah? You have people who are the big billers, making big money, hitting all the targets, smashing it. But then some companies will promote them as a manager for their performance. But when it comes to management, they're trash. And then the whole team crumbles, etc. They have to make adjustments. But then there's people who aren't the top billers, but they have a lot of leadership attributes. It's not about being the best to be a leader. It takes different skills. You could be the best, don't mean you're a good leader. It's very different. So I could relate to that in the sense that Russell Westbrook, clearly, from the sounds of it, from what the teammates were saying, he was that leader. He was very good too, but he was that leader. And KD wanted to be that leader, but he didn't have the attributes. But because he was the best player, he probably felt like he deserves to be the leader. I'm the best. Why am I not leading? But that's not how it works. That's me talking corporately. So, and I believe it will translate to some level in the sport too. So that's my opinion.
It definitely makes sense. You get people that don't have the right. Just because you're very good at something, like you said, doesn't mean that you have the skills to manage other people. It's like, for example, the people that play on court that have very high IQ.
Yeah.
Those people,
they become coaches.
Which makes sense because, but even then, some of them, they might not have like good managing skills. Just because they have very good high IQ doesn't mean that they'll be able to communicate management very well.
Deal with people correctly. But yeah, that's
you need to have very good people skills.
That's it.
Later, Durant appeared on All the Smoke podcast, adding more fuel to the fire.
I play with a lot of athletes. I didn't play with a lot of skill guys, not like shooters, ball handlers. So after a while, my game started to grow. I was like, I need to change. This is before the season even started. I was tired of like having to be the only guy that can make threes, make jump shots, and consistently make them.
In 2021, Durant appeared on another podcast and failed to mention Westbrook as one of his top 5 teammates.
Top 5 players you ever played with?
Kyrie, James,
Steph,
Clay. And I'm gonna go.
He was gonna say Westbrook.
Damn.
What's your thoughts on that? I know they take shots at each other for a long time, but that's quite savage. I can't lie.
He really doesn't like him. So I see it. Or do you think it's just sometimes they don't, people, they don't want the other person to know, like...
No, I think at this point, when you're doing that, my opinion on that is it's gone too far now.
Yeah.
Like, their beef has escalated to the point where they genuinely don't like each other.
Yeah.
And you could tell he kind of stuttered on the fifth one.
Yeah, he did.
You could tell he was going to say Westbrook, but he said, no, let me not do that. And he pulled back.
Yeah.
Their beef has escalated too much. It's at the point of no return here.
I thought somebody else was doing
me
it
too.
from LA.
However, in the last couple of years, it seemed like the two finally buried the hatchet. In the 2023 playoff series between Russell Westbrook's Clippers and Durant's Suns, KD had nothing but praise for his former teammate.
When he retired, people won't really tell the truth about how they feel about his game. Right now, it's a fun thing to do is to make a choke out of Russ. But he the way he's been playing is since he got with the Clippers, showed everybody who he really is.
Durant said after Game 4 when Westbrook had 37 points. And even though there was still some trash talking during the series, it felt different. And it was more playful, competitive banter rather than an ugly beef that used to exist between them. And they even dapped up in the tunnel after the game. When the duo saw each other at a college football game in 2024, it was all love.
Good to see.
And we hope it stays that way.
Good to see.
Thanks for watching. And if you like this video...
Wow.
So do you still not like KD?
It's not that... It's not... I don't know. It's not...
We like KD as a player.
As a player, he's very good. I could never...
His morals are a bit...
His morals are all over the place. And that's what makes me dislike him as a man. It's very different to dislike someone as a man and as, a profession. He's one of the best players, hands down. Not going to argue it. We'll never take that away from him or try to discredit it because I don't like him.
Yeah.
But I don't like him for his actions outside. And this, I will add to this as well, guys, because I did say in the previous video, there was another reason why I didn't like him. And this was before we kind of got into the reactions of KD at all. And some of you on YouTube did guess what the reason was. I saw an interview with him and IShowSpeed. Now, I'm not an IShowSpeed fan. I kind of just come across his content. But I saw it and he really talked down on him. He really kind of made him... you could tell IShowSpeed growing up was a KD fan. You could tell. He's clearly an NBA fan. He was a kid that kind of blew up very quickly. He's still going to be a fanboy of LeBron and these guys.
Of course, yeah. Look how fast when he saw Ronaldo.
Yeah,
he
he
was
got
barking
crazy.
at him.
So you could tell. He said he owns all his shoes, and he said it to KD, and KD's like, "Oh, why are you telling me that for now?" He just cut him off, made him look like a dick. And I don't know, man. From then, I had a bit of a feeling about KD. Then I saw the other video, which made me kind of solidify my reasoning. And now this one, just like I said, I won't discredit him as a player, but I just don't like him as a person. It is what it is. Guys, that is what it is.
And I feel like the highlight of this when the interviewers asked him who's the top 5 people that you played with, and he didn't even mention Russell Westbrook's name. It's kind of whoa.
Yeah, that was big.
Bro, come on, man. It's that deep.
All right, guys, that is video number 1. I hope you enjoyed it. Look, no hard feelings to KD fans. That's my opinion. Not everyone's going to agree with it. Everyone's
but you're allowed to have opinion.
Wait, look, freedom of speech, man. US is all about that. What we're struggling in the UK for. So we're going to express our freedom of speech and say it.
We're going to be looking eye to eye on everything, and there's nothing wrong with that.